Hello, everyone. How are you doing? I'm Divine Celia. I am back today with an uplifting talk to you, for you. So, I was in the middle of a voice lesson. And for those of you that don't know, I am a singer. My first love is singing. My first love is music. That is my art form. That is sound and how it travels and how it moves out of you. And I love music and I love to sing. And I perform as audible art. And so I'm an artist in a very different way. Very different way. And I incorporate a lot of mediums in my art form, movement, sound, visual, and I put it all together. So I was in the middle of a voice lesson, and something came up that is kind of a blockage, even when I'm acting. And I'm like, so I want to talk about this. Okay, I'm going to share a little bit of me with you. I'm someone who finds it very difficult to be vulnerable. Let me explain. When I would audition for things, right? And me being black, they wanted to typecast me in these victim roles and these mama roles and these counselor roles. Now, yeah, of course, I feel that way. I dig it, right? But I wasn't being typecast in that. No. And the number one question I had was, you won't extend, or why won't you extend beyond your vulnerability? Why won't you be vulnerable? And my answer, and I'm going to be truthful with you, my answer was why? Why should I share that with them? I don't understand. Well, today, I realize why. Because, for one thing, if you're an artist, right? Actor, singer, performer, painter, drawer, whatever. Your art form is your vulnerability. Your art form is what you're putting out there, that your heart, you can't hide your heart from it. And you're putting it out there for everyone to see. That can include magic, oils, what you craft with your hands, woodwork, all of those things. Steel, I love metalwork. So anyway, yeah, I'm a weird one. But anyway, and I noticed something when I would hold on to my vulnerability and I wouldn't allow it to be. And what I mean by that, let me explain that. Those are like when you sit up and you're moved by something so much you start crying, or you're not tough all the time. You're soft. You have soft moments. You feel. But a lot of us don't want to show that to people. A lot of us don't want to express that. Even as artists, we won't want to express that, some of us. Some of us are just free and don't care what people. Me, I'm more reserved. And that comes out in passion for me. And because I'm not vulnerable a lot with people, and I am, but in a different way. I am tough love, right? But when it's time for those quiet moments, when it's time for those very reflective and emotional moments, I like to spend those alone. I don't like to spend those with people. But things, life, things will happen, and it'll make you spend it with people, right? Well, I would notice how my body would tense up and wouldn't release my art form, because that vulnerability is needed. And I'm finding at this stage in my art form, vulnerability is needed. And I'm like, right? Because I'm very deliberate in how I create. So I was in my vocal lesson and I was thinking about something. And it was a vocal lesson on releasing power, to release your voice. And allowing the power to come out of you. And I was thinking to myself, I said, just when you think you have most of it figured out, you ain't got shit figured out. So your power cannot come out unless you allow yourself to be real in a different space, in a different way. And that's vulnerability. It is not a matter of what other people think. It has nothing to do with people. It has to do with you, but I get it. It's like you're sharing it with others. How are they going to react? How are they going to like it? What if they make fun of me, my loves? And children go through this all the time when they first days of school, going to school every day. You know, the fear of being bullied and how these kids act today. I dig it. Going to a new job. You don't know people. You don't know, and you don't be vulnerable too soon. I get it. I get it. My loves, you decide the degree. But you have to accept and admit, from the masculinist man to the toughest woman, you have to admit we have vulnerabilities. There are things that make us cry. There are things that break us down when we feel like we shouldn't be breaking down because everyone is counting on us. We have times where when we repress that vulnerability, it's going to flood. And it's going to shake us up in a way that we don't want to be shaken up. We're not going to be prepared for it. And it's just going to come out. Now, you know what the funny thing is? That's part of the reason why I practice Tantra. Because as I said, mine comes out in passion, mostly. And even then, I won't want to be vulnerable, hence why I practice Tantra. It's a very controlling thing, right? And we get in this space where no one controls us. We have our choice, right? But when we do that, what's the number one thing we squash? Our vulnerability. Because we feel if we show it, someone's going to try to control it. Yeah, most likely. But we're not going to let them do that. No. We breathe in us. We breathe out love. We breathe in love. We breathe out us. So, and that nose breath. And as we're breathing it in, we are remembering and we're connecting the loop. And that is a tantric practice, usually done with a partner though. But we're connecting the breath in the loop. Like as soon as it comes out, we're bringing it back in. And we're connecting the flow of us. My loves, it's okay to be vulnerable. It is okay to be vulnerable with us. Never mind with other people. It's okay to be vulnerable with us. We are the number one folks that's the hardest on ourselves. We got to stop. It's one thing to guide ourselves and to help ourselves, but we got to stop. There's nothing wrong with being vulnerable. There's nothing wrong with feeling and crying and expressing. Are you kidding me? That's what makes our art form so freaking beautiful. If I didn't have the ability to do that, I couldn't create what I create, to be able to relate to everyone else. So what I make is for everyone else and for me, but it's therapeutic for me. And it allows me to share me in a way that I'm comfortable, right? That's what it means when we're vulnerable. We're sharing ourselves in a way that we're comfortable. And we have to get over the script that people have to accept it and people have to be okay with it. No, they don't. No. But we're going to have a part 2 on this one because this is important. This is important. Delve in depth into self, into our heart space, into our auric field. It affects all of that. So we'll stop it right here and we're going to pick it back